All right, so we're diving into the 4-Hour Body this time.
Okay.
By Tim Ferriss. And I know this book is
Yeah.
packed with some pretty wild, ideas.
Yeah.
We're talking rapid weight loss, muscle gain, even hints at, becoming superhuman.
Right.
Which,
Yeah.
sounds a little out there.
Right.
But who wouldn't be intrigued by the idea of, a
Sure.
healthier, stronger body, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're right about the unconventional ideas.
Yeah.
Ferriss really kind of throws out a lot of the traditional thinking around diet and exercise.
Right.
He's a self-experimenter, really
Yeah.
at heart, always kind of pushing boundaries
Yeah.
and questioning assumptions,
Right.
which definitely makes for a fascinating read.
Yeah, and one of the things that first caught my eye was this concept of minimum effective dose, or ME. He uses this boiling water analogy, right? Adding more heat once the water's boiling doesn't make it more boiled.
Right.
It just wastes energy.
Right.
And how does that apply to say losing weight or building muscle?
Yeah, it's about finding that sweet spot.
Yeah.
The minimum input for the maximum results.
Right.
And Ferriss doesn't just apply this to exercise.
Right.
He challenges this whole calories in, calories out dogma, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about how much you eat, he says, but what you eat.
Oh, okay.
And how those foods affect your hormones,
Right.
metabolism.
So he's debunking the myth that all calories are created equal.
Yeah.
I've definitely tried those restrictive diets where you meticulously count every calorie.
Right.
And let's just say the results weren't exactly mind-blowing.
Right. And Ferriss argues that even yo-yo dieting, which gets a lot of bad press, isn't necessarily the enemy if you do it strategically.
Right.
He actually claims that he gained 34 pounds,
Yeah.
lost body fat, and improved his cholesterol in just 28 days.
Okay, that's pretty wild. But how? Does he have some secret formula or something?
Well, he has a whole set of what he calls mental models to kind of shift your thinking about weight loss.
Yeah.
For example, he points out that exercise alone doesn't burn that many calories.
Right.
He uses this example of how many flights of stairs you'd have to climb to burn off half an Oreo cookie.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, it's way more than you'd think.
Oh, man, that's depressing.
Yeah.
So if exercise isn't the magic bullet, what is?
He focuses on changing your body composition, losing fat while gaining muscle. That's what he calls the 20-pound recomp goal.
Yeah.
It's about getting stronger and healthier, and not just smaller.
Right.
He also busts the myth that all natural is always better, right?
Great.
Reminding us that even natural things can be harmful in the wrong doses.
So it's all about being smart and strategic.
Right.
Not just blindly following the latest trends. And speaking of strategy, let's talk about the slow carb diet.
Okay.
No white carbs,
Yeah.
but a weekly cheat day where you can eat whatever you want.
Right.
That seems counterintuitive.
It does, right.
Yeah.
The idea is to minimize insulin spikes because insulin is the hormone that signals your body to store fat.
Right.
So by avoiding refined carbs and focusing on protein, fiber, and legumes, you keep your insulin levels stable.
But then there's this whole cheat day thing where he encourages indulging in
Right.
all the foods you're supposed to avoid.
Exactly.
I read about his experiment where he ate 6,000 calories in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Just to prove a point about cheat days?
Right.
I mean, 6,000 calories.
Yes, that's crazy.
What was he thinking?
That's Pharisee for you.
Yeah.
Always pushing the limits.
Yeah.
His theory is that a scheduled cheat day actually resets your metabolism and prevents your body from adapting to the diet too much.
Right.
It's like a strategic binge to keep your body guessing.
Okay, I'm starting to see the logic here.
Yeah.
But wouldn't all that cheat day indulgence undo all your hard work during the week?
That's where Ferriss's meticulous approach really shines.
Okay.
He outlines very specific strategies for minimizing fat gain on cheat days.
All right, let's hear them. What are his secrets for indulging without backsliding?
Yeah. Well, he focuses on three main things: minimizing that initial insulin surge, speeding up digestion, and using short, intense workouts.
So it's not just a free-for-all pizza fest.
Right.
There's actual science behind it.
Exactly.
I'm guessing this is where the 6,000-calorie experiment comes in.
Exactly. He used himself as a guinea pig to see if he could, mitigate the damage. For instance, he started his cheat day with a meal high in protein and fiber.
Okay.
To slow down the absorption of all those incoming calories.
Smart move.
Yeah.
So front-loading with the good stuff to buffer the bad.
Precisely, he also used things like caffeine and yerba mate to speed up digestion. And then, to really kick things into gear, he did short bursts of exercise before each cheat meal. Things like chest pulls and squats to boost his metabolism and encourage those calories to go towards muscle growth instead of fat storage.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So he's basically turning his body into a calorie-burning machine even on his cheat day.
That's one way to put it. And get this, he even delves into the role of gut bacteria in weight loss.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, the balance of different types of bacteria in your gut can actually influence how your body processes food.
Wait, so our gut microbiome is like a secret weapon in the fight against fat?
It seems that way.
Wow.
Ferriss suggests incorporating prebiotics and probiotics into your diet. And eating fermented foods, like yogurt and kimchi, to support a healthy balance of those gut bacteria.
Okay, so we've covered the slow-carb diet and those strategic cheat days.
Right.
But what about the more out-there stuff he talks about? Like manipulating body temperature to burn fat.
Ah, yes, the cold exposure techniques.
Right.
This is where Ferriss really dives into some cutting-edge science.
Right.
He talks about brown adipose tissue, or BT,
Okay.
which is a type of fat that actually burns calories to generate heat.
So the opposite of the white fat we're all trying to get rid of.
Exactly. And Ferriss suggests that we can stimulate BT by exposing ourselves to cold temperatures.
Okay.
Think ice packs, cold showers.
Oh, wow.
Even ice baths.
Brr. I don't know if I'm brave enough for all that.
Yeah.
But is there any actual evidence to support this?
He cites a study where participants applied an ice pack to the back of their necks for 30 minutes each evening.
Wow.
And get this, they actually saw an increase in their BT activity.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why Ferriss has such a dedicated following.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to challenge the status quo and try new things.
Absolutely.
And that unconventional thinking extends to his approach to sleep. He acknowledges the importance of getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
But he also explores the concept of polyphasic sleep.
Right.
Polyphasic sleep. That sounds vaguely familiar, but refresh my memory.
It's basically sleeping in multiple short bursts throughout the day. Instead of one long block at night.
Gotcha.
The idea is to maximize your waking hours by training your brain to enter REM sleep more quickly.
Wait, so you're saying you could potentially function on just a couple of hours of sleep per day?
Theoretically, yes, but Ferriss cautions that it can be extremely difficult to maintain and can lead to serious fatigue if you miss a nap or oversleep. It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
I'll stick to my 8 hours, thank you very much.
Right.
But I do admire his willingness to experiment.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, he also had a pretty unconventional approach to dealing with injuries.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He struggled with chronic injuries for years.
Okay.
And tried everything from traditional physical therapy to expensive stem cell treatments.
Wow.
But nothing seemed to work.
So what was his secret weapon? Did he discover some ancient healing technique?
He ended up finding relief through a combination of approaches.
Okay.
One thing he highlights is wearing Vibram 5-finger shoes.
Okay.
You know those shoes that look like gloves for your feet?
Yeah, I've seen those. They look a little strange.
Right.
But I guess if they work.
Ferriss found that they helped to correct his posture and foot mechanics.
Okay.
Which in turn alleviated some of his chronic pain.
So it's about addressing the root cause of the injury.
Right.
Not just masking the symptoms. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. He also had success with the EGUSQ method, which is a postural therapy program that focuses on realigning the body.
Interesting.
He also found relief through active release techniques, or RT,
Okay.
which is a type of manual therapy that helps to break up scar tissue and adhesions.
Right. It sounds like he took a very holistic approach to healing his body,
Yeah.
combining different modalities to address
Yeah.
both the physical and structural aspects of his injury.
You got it. And he emphasizes the importance of injury-proofing your body
Right.
by identifying and correcting imbalances before they lead to problems.
Yeah.
He talks about a system called functional movement screen,
Okay.
which uses a series of movement tests
Right.
to pinpoint weaknesses and asymmetries
Okay.
that could make you more prone to injury.
It's like a preventative maintenance check for your body.
Right.
Okay. On to something a little more exciting.
Okay.
Ferriss obviously dives deep into building muscle and increasing strength.
Yeah.
And he has some pretty unorthodox ideas about that too, right?
He definitely does. He challenges the notion that strength is purely genetic,
Okay.
arguing that it's actually a skill you can learn and develop
Okay.
through the right training techniques.
So anyone can become a strong man or strong woman with enough dedication.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Right. And he highlights the work of Pavel Tsatsouline, a former Soviet Special Forces instructor who's known for his expertise in kettlebell training.
Kettlebells, those cannonball-looking things with handles?
Yes.
What's so special about those?
Apparently, Tsatsouline uses kettlebells to teach people how to activate their strength skills and unlock their full potential.
Wow.
Ferriss even tells a story about how Tsatsouline was able to significantly increase someone's lifting capacity.
What?
In just 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
It's all about learning how to use your body's natural leverage
Okay.
and recruit the right muscles for maximum efficiency.
So it's all about technique.
It is.
No.
Ferriss also highlights the work of Barry Ross,
Okay.
a renowned track and field coach who developed a training program called the Effortless Superhuman Protocol.
Effortless Superhuman. Now that's a name that gets your attention.
It definitely does. Ross's program is based on the principle of maximizing ground force support
Okay.
by strengthening the skeletal muscles.
Which are the muscles responsible for generating power
Okay.
during movements like running and jumping.
So it's not just about bulking up your biceps.
Yes.
It's about training your body to move more powerfully and efficiently.
Precisely. And Ross emphasizes the importance of lifting heavy weights,
Okay.
but not training to failure.
Right.
He believes that by focusing on quality over quantity,
Okay.
you can stimulate muscle growth without overtaxing your body.
It sounds like a smarter, more strategic approach to strength training.
Absolutely. And it ties back into Ferriss's overall philosophy of finding the minimum effective dose for maximum results.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of strength training.
Right.
But what about those more specific techniques he talks about?
Yeah.
Like kettlebell swings and his 6-minute abs routine.
He goes into detail about a number of specific exercises that he found particularly effective.
Okay.
For instance, he talks about how he was able to get visible abs for the first time in his life.
Using a combination of 2 exercises, the cat vomit and the myotactic crunch.
Cat vomit. Okay. I need you to elaborate on that one.
It sounds weird, but it's actually a really effective way to target your deep abdominal muscles.
Oh, okay.
It involves forcefully exhaling all the air from your lungs.
Wow.
And then using your abs to hold that position.
Okay.
For several seconds. It's like a super intense vacuum for your abs.
Got it. So no actual vomit involved.
Thankfully, no. And then there's the myotactic crunch,
Okay.
which is a more dynamic movement that involves using a Swiss ball to create instability and challenge your core muscles.
So working smarter, not harder, right?
Exactly. And that same principle applies to kettlebell swings.
Right.
Ferriss talks about a woman named Tracy Rifkin who lost over 100 pounds by incorporating kettlebell swings into her workout routine.
Wow, that's amazing what makes them so effective.
They work multiple muscle groups simultaneously.
Okay.
Your legs, glutes, core, and shoulders.
Wow.
And because the movement is dynamic and explosive,
It gets your heart rate up and burns a ton of calories.
it sounds like the ultimate full-body workout.
It pretty much is.
Yeah.
And Ferriss provides detailed instructions on how to perform the swing correctly to maximize results and avoid injury.
I'm starting to see why people get so hooked on kettlebells.
Right.
They're like the Swiss Army knife of exercise equipment.
They really are, and they're a great example of how Ferriss is always looking for the most efficient and effective ways to achieve his fitness goals.
So we've covered diet, cheat days, fat loss hacks, strength training, even abs.
Right.
What else does Ferriss cover in his quest for the 4-hour body?
Well, he also delves into the world of athletic performance,
Okay.
sharing tips on how to improve your running speed,
Okay.
jump higher,
Okay.
and even swim more efficiently.
Swim more efficiently. I thought we were talking about superhumans, not mermaids.
He covers it all. Ferriss admits he was a terrible swimmer for most of his life,
Okay.
but he was able to transform his technique in just 10 days.
10 days. Using a method called total immersion.
Total immersion. What's the secret?
It's all about minimizing drag and maximizing propulsion
Oh,
by streamlining your body position
gotcha.
and using your entire body to move through the water.
So it's less about brute force and more about finesse and technique.
Exactly. He also shares tips on how to improve your running speed
Okay.
by focusing on proper form, stride length, and arm movement.
It sounds like he's hacking the biomechanics of athleticism.
That's a great way to put it. He even breaks down the dynamics of a perfect baseball swing,
Wow.
providing insights that can be applied to other sports as well.
It's like he's deconstructing the matrix of human performance.
And that's what makes the 4-Hour Body so compelling.
Yeah.
It's about challenging assumptions, experimenting and pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible.
It's like he's giving us a glimpse into the future of human potential.
Precisely. And while not all of his methods will resonate with everyone,
Right.
there's something in there for anyone looking to optimize their health and performance.
So it's a journey of self-discovery,
Right.
a quest for the best version of ourselves.
Exactly. And that journey starts with a willingness to question,
Right.
to experiment, and to embrace the unconventional.
Well, dear listeners, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into the 4-Hour Body,
We have.
from diet and exercise hacks
Yeah.
to sleep optimization,
Mm-hmm.
injury recovery,
Right.
and even life extension.
Right.
Tim Ferriss has given us a lot to think about.
He has.
But there's one more fascinating area we need to explore. Ferriss's take on longevity. So we've talked about all these hacks for our bodies,
Yeah.
for better performance, but what about like hacking our lifespans?
Yeah.
What does Ferriss have to say about longevity?
He has a really interesting take on it.
Okay.
He actually questions whether simply living longer is really the goal.
Right.
Instead, he suggests focusing on
Yeah.
maximizing the quality of our years,
Right.
not just the quantity.
It's like that saying, it's not about the years in your life, it's about
Yeah.
the life in your years, right?
Exactly.
I think a lot of people would agree with that sentiment,
Yeah.
but how do we actually do that?
Well, Ferriss explores a wide range of options from things that are, available to us right now,
Right.
like protein cycling and intermittent fasting, to like more futuristic possibilities,
Yeah.
like some cell treatments and
Right.
potential vaccines for Alzheimer's.
Wow.
He even mentions bloodletting, which honestly,
Bloodletting.
yeah,
Sounds a little scary.
I know, right?
Like something out of a medieval torture chamber?
It does sound a little crazy.
Yeah.
But there's actually some scientific evidence to suggest
Really?
that it might be beneficial.
Yeah.
Apparently, excess iron in the body
Okay.
can contribute to aging
Right.
and increase the risk of certain diseases.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what about those more advanced therapies, like stem cells and vaccines?
Yeah.
Is Ferriss advocating for those?
He's definitely intrigued by the potential of these, cutting-edge therapies.
Yeah.
But he's also cautious
Okay.
because the long-term effects are still unknown. He's a big believer in evidence-based approaches.
Right.
So when it comes to something as complex as life extension,
Yeah.
he wants to see the research
Right.
before fully endorsing any particular intervention.
That's a responsible stance.
Yeah.
Especially given the potential for like unintended consequences with these new technologies.
Absolutely. He also recognizes that living longer
Mm-hmm.
isn't necessarily the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
If those extra years are spent in a state of decline,
Right.
he advocates for striking a balance
Yeah.
between extending lifespan
Right.
and maximizing health span.
Health span. So it's not just about living longer. It's
Right.
about living well for longer.
Exactly. It's about feeling vibrant and capable,
Yeah.
not just adding years to your life, but right.
Adding life to your years.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
And one I think a lot of people can get behind.
Right.
Living a long life is great,
Yeah.
but living a vibrant, fulfilling life is even better.
I agree. And Ferriss believes that
Yeah.
by optimizing our health and performance,
Mhm.
we can unlock our full potential
Right.
and live our lives to the fullest,
Yeah.
no matter how long they may be.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
that wraps up our deep dive.
It does.
Into Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Body.
That's been a good one.
We've covered a ton of information.
Right.
From diet and exercise hacks to sleep optimization, injury recovery, and even life extension.
It's a blueprint for anyone who wants to challenge the norms and take control of their health and well-being.
So the question is, what will you take away from this deep dive?
Right.
Which of Ferriss's ideas resonated with you the most?
Yeah. What are you going to implement? And how can you apply these principles to your own life?
Remember, it's all about finding your own path
Right.
to a healthier, stronger, and more fulfilling life.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time for another fascinating deep dive.